Hey, welcome back to the UC. Lightning quick update for you today. There will be blood in the MVSX cabinet, specifically the Samurai Showdown games, and most importantly, the Metal Slug games. Every single Metal Slug and every single Samurai Showdown is confirmed. I watched gameplay footage of this, so I can tell you I've seen the blood effects. Looks just like you would expect. Good stuff. And we have all of you guys to thank for that. Everybody in the community who was loud about this and raised their hand and said, we want the blood effects. We got what you asked for. And that's pretty cool. And I got to just be honest with you guys. I wasn't super animated by whether blood was enabled or not. There are a couple other things that are higher on my priority list that I think are important to get right on this cabinet. And we're not going to know that for sure until I get to review it, which is coming soon. But I am excited that Unico is responsive, and I did want the blood effects. It just wasn't, to me, it maybe wasn't as big a deal as it is to some of you. But I'm telling you guys, Unico is all in on this. They're not messing around. If this product doesn't work out right, there might not be a future for other products from them. I think they know that. I think they put all their eggs in one basket. Neo Geo fans are a rabid group, and you got to come right. You got to come correct if you're going to do a Neo Geo cabinet. Again, I think these guys know that. That's not to say this is going to satisfy the most hardcore purist. For that, I think you're always going to need original hardware. But for other folks, this might just be, what the doctor ordered. Let's wait and see. There is some other quick news out of a few other of the companies. So number one, iiRCade. They are bringing some 80s wrestling games, and I'll put the list up on the screen. And some photos too. So these guys are bringing wrestling games to the table. Wrestling games have not been well represented in home arcade. The Golden Axe cabinet has Sega's Wrestle War, which I'm kind of hyped for. These games are a little before my time. These are mid 80s wrestling games. I wasn't in the arcade yet, wasn't born yet, so I missed out on some of this stuff. But I'm telling you, iiRCade is going to live or die based on the quality and quantity of games they can get us. And here's their killer feature. They can get you obscure games because it's all digital distribution. For Arcade One Up to do a cabinet, they got to be able to sell 3,000 cabinets or more to break even on that cabinet. That's what they've told everybody, right? Well, iiRCade just has to sell the cabinet initially, and then the more games you buy, the more money they make, and it's just digital distribution. They don't have to retool their factory. They don't have to ship anything out. That is the advantage. Now, I've always said I hope Arcade One Up copies that. And I suspect eventually they will, but it doesn't look like it's going to be for this holiday season. So let's get that iiRCade hype going. Let's get some obscure 80s wrestling games downloaded. The games that they're bringing in this release are from Technos Japan. So that's the company behind Double Dragon. They're a major shop, and they do have some heavyweight games. So I don't mean to dismiss these games. They're just a little bit before my time, so I can't speak to them super well. But you guys can let me know what you think in the comments if these games look hype or not. All right, so to close everything out, AtGames does have a new firmware update, 5.2.0. If you're coming from version 4, it's recommended before you update that you go to Settings and then go to Data Manager and do a cleanup, let's call it a cleanup, and then install the update. Now, 5.2 isn't a major update. It's not like 5.0. It's going to let you do leaderboards on 4 more Taito games, and it's going to support leaderboards on Farsight's Pinball Arcade, the Steam version. So you can stream that from your computer, play it on the Legends Ultimate, and support leaderboards there. Sometimes the firmware updates from AtGames are kind of minor. But look, I gotta say, overall, these guys have done right. They've given us pretty good quality controls in their cabinet. I'm actually hoping that the MVSX has similar quality controls to the AtGames Legends Ultimate. You guys know I'd prefer name brand controls, but I am pretty happy with the AtGames controls, and I'd like to see something similar from the MVS, and we're going to see. But I'm telling you, I'm so hyped that we got those 47 Taito games. I've been playing a lot of Kadash. It's a very unique arcade game. It has a RPG progression system. It's basically open world. There's some backtracking and all this, but it's almost like an early 2D semi-open world game. Cool game. Somewhat interesting story, but the gameplay is unique to arcade for the arcade format, and it's pretty neat. But I think all of this points toward us getting more variety than ever, be it wrestling games, be it weird off-the-wall games that I happen to love, like Kadash and the Legends Ultimate, and be it a certain favorite game of mine, Dragon Spirit. John D made a comment on Facebook that they are going to do a Pac-Man variant with a Dragon Spirit. Then all of a sudden I realized, man, as excited as I am for that Miss Pac-Man cocktail cab lineup, and I am excited, you get Dig Dug, you get Galaga, you get Miss Pac-Man, and several Pac variants. If they did a version with Dragon Spirit, it'd be awful. I mean, that's why we need DLC. I'm sorry, it would be awful if I just bought the Miss Pac-Man cocktail and then they did the version. They need DLC. Let me download Dragon Spirit to my damn cabinet. Dragon Spirit is one of my favorite arcade games. In a way, it's a shoot 'em up. It's baby's first shoot 'em up. It's kind of a slow pace. It's not super hard, but I love the music. I love just the visuals on that game. And it pulls on my nostalgia strings because I played it back in the day. I've got Dragon Spirit added to my NES Mini. I've got the TurboGrafx version on TurboGrafx. Obviously, that console came with Dragon Spirit. Really like to see that from Arcade on up. We need DLC expansion. iiRCade is bringing DLC expansion, and I think it's going to be a big win for everyone. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy that you're going to get Blood in the Neo Geo, and I'll catch you later.